Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. We're going to have a rehousing today, and we are going to move a really nice spider today. And this is one that we got in as tiny little slings. I think they were only literally a centimetre or so big, but they're now actually looking reasonably good. They're quite big now, and that is the Chilobrachys species Electric Blue. Now these are quite often referred to as the poor man's birupes, which you would have seen in our previous video. We've done the birupes. Now we're going to do the Electric Blue. And to be fair, these are an absolutely stunning spider. They really are a lovely spider. Now we're going to set this tank up here. This is a Komodo 30 by 30 by 30. You can get these online pretty much everywhere. They're all over the place. So what we're going to do, we're going to set it up like our bioactives. And that's because these guys come from Vietnam and they do like a reasonable amount of humidity. We're looking at quite a high humidity for these guys. And they are I would class them as a semi-fosorial spider. They're not a full-on fosorial spider, because you will find that they will build webs just about anywhere. They are quite a heavy webbing spider, and they will make webs pretty much anywhere they can find anchor points. One of the reasons that they burrow so much in Vietnam is because of the temperatures. They can get up into the 90s. So these guys need to get away from that heat, and the easiest way to do that is to dig down. And this is why many of our fosorial spiders live the lifestyle that they do, and it's because they're escaping heat. We don't suffer with that in captivity, do we? We control the heat, so there's no need for them to dig down so much. We'll go a little bit more into that in a moment. So what we're going to do now, we're going to add in some regular compost. I thought my bag was open. Well, a brand new bag here now. Right, so we're going to add in some regular compost. Now we use the regular compost really to bulk it up. So it's given us volume, which is absolutely ideal when you're looking at fosorial spiders, because obviously they need quite a bit of it. So we're going to put it in like this. We can get some more in there yet. I'm just going to throw this in. That'll do on the compost side of things. So we're just going to break up any lumps that we see. You can see this stuff is really fine. We often get asked, what's the ones that we like the best? I like this real fine stuff. Lovely stuff. Now we're going to add to that, we're going to add our Beastie mix. Now, as you can see, the difference in the texture there. This is all leaf mulch that we're collecting ourselves, and it's got everything in it. This has got springtails, isopods, all those lovely things are all inside it. So we can literally put that on top. So as you can see now, we've actually created a depth of soil here. We're going to encourage our spider to make home in the back of the enclosure, because when we're looking from the front, we want to be seeing the whole thing. So hopefully we can get her to build her home in the back. And then in the front here, we can do what we like here. This doesn't need to be so deep in the front. Now then, I have got a little idea of something I want to try and do here. We're going to add some plants, and we got this here. Don't ask me what it is, guys, because I don't know. All I know is it's a very common house plant. And you often see this in enclosure builds, and it doesn't mind a little bit of humidity and what have you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tease out the roots a little bit. I'm going to get rid of some of this soil that's around the top. And by doing this, this will encourage the plant to root out. So I'm going to put that in this back corner here. In there like so. That's it. Slip that in there. Now we've got a lovely piece of bark here. Now when it's an enclosure like this, we want this to be a little bit of a display. So I like bark that's got a bit of texture. This is cork bark that we're using today. Really nice, and it's got a nice bit of texture, a bit of shape to it as well. This all adds to the overall look of your enclosure. What we're going to do is we're going to put that in there like that, and we're going to tip it up a little bit like so, because we want to add a different dimension. This is what we're looking for. We can try and encourage it to go down in here. That's the idea. That's what we'd like to do. We've got another piece of wood here. This is a piece of natural wood that we picked up. You can see the moss and what have you. That's what we're looking for here. It just gives it something nice. It's just another little something to look at, really. We can see how we want to make this. Now bearing in mind, because these are such heavy weathers, a lot of this will end up getting covered. There we go. Right, so we've got some moss as well. This is absolutely gorgeous stuff. And I think what we're going to do, we're going to tear this in half. Now this is all collected from the outside. This is all wild. I'm going to put this up here. We're going to go that way around with it. Dog plant up. You can see now it's starting to take a little bit of shape. Put that down like that a bit more. I'm going to get our water bowl. I can go in this corner here. There we go. Now the only thing I'm a little concerned about is this is quite a large opening. So we're going to change the direction of this. And we're going to tip it back that way. What we've done now is we've lowered this piece of cork bark, and you can see now what we're doing is we're making the opening here smaller, and this in turn will give some security to our spider. I'm going to put that in there like so. That's better. That's better. So that's what we're looking for. We're aiming at making our spider feel comfortable. We can change this. Just put this in there. Just carry on that theme, you see. And then we can put a piece here. That's the beauty of this wild moss, you see. We can just tear it up and we can do what we want with it. It's amazing. We're going to add that into there. In time, our plant will grow. That's going to give it a lovely, lovely feeling. Right. I think that will actually do. That will do. So we're going to get rid of this. Move this all out of the way. So as you can see now, what we've tried to do, we've tried to achieve a bit of a woodland look, and we've given our spider all that it requires. Now these spiders, they do enjoy to burrow, so by making this small indentation here, we've created a burrow here, and hopefully she will carry on and dig that out a little bit more. What it will mean is over a period of a week or so, we'll probably have to move the water bowl because it will be filled in. But then all we can do is literally just tear it out, put it back on top again. It'll be fine. We need to let her make home. That's the important part. So I'm going to get some water in here. Now, as we were saying, these guys come from Vietnam where the temperatures can be really, really warm. And that is why these guys burrow down, because they're escaping the temperature. Here in captivity, we're looking at keeping our guy around about 75 to 80 degrees, and that will be perfectly happy there. In Vietnam, their temperatures range anywhere from 60 up into the 90s, high 90s. So 75, 80 is a real nice optimum to have them in captivity. Now, because of that, because we're not going so hot as in the wild state, we should see more of our spider. And this is why I class them more as a semi-fossorial spider. And if we regulate her food, then we will see more of her. She'll come out and about and hopefully sit in the front here. This is what we're aiming for. Right, now we've got her up here on the shelf. She's a very, very pretty spider. Now this is the enclosure. We've got 5 of these guys, and this is the enclosure that we set them up in when they were very small, when they were slings. And they've grown on, and as you can see from this, they web absolutely everything up. And so what we're aiming for here is we are literally just looking to, in an enclosure like this, this is really just designed fit for purpose. And all we're looking for is to grow her on and make her into a nice large adult spider. You can see here she's burrowed down in here. Everything's missing from here. She's turfed the whole lot out. Everything's gone. It's all outside. It's all up here now. And the reason this is so highly webbed is because it's in a small enclosure. By giving her more space, I'm hoping she won't web so much of it up. So what we've got our catch cup here. These are an old world spider. They are very, very fast. And if pushed, these guys will bite. So you don't want to be handling them. You want to be very, very careful. And what we're doing here is we are literally just clearing away some of this webbing. They are quite capable of running up the glass. So we're gonna. She's underneath this piece of wood here at the moment. So we're holding the wood down with our paintbrush. Now we've taken all of that out, and she is underneath there. So when we remove this piece of wood, this is where it starts to get interesting, because we've taken away her security. At the moment she still feels secure, and this is why we haven't seen her. So if you're catching your spider, always try and remember, remove as much of the stuff on the outside as you can, but leave a little piece of security there just to keep her in one place. We don't want to move this until the very last moment, which is now. So what I'm going to do, well, I'm going to have a look. Now I can see her leg down there. There she is. Got to be very, very careful now, because these guys will run straight up the glass. So there you are. You can see that beautiful blue in there. Absolutely stunning. Like I say, these are very, very, very fast. So we have to be very careful now. What we're aiming for, we want to try and keep her into the corner that she's facing. And then hopefully we can do that. So we're literally just going to go nice and gently. We don't want to spook her. Alright, she's gone back into the back corner. That's fine. There we go. See how she ran straight up the glass? We're using our catch cup lid on the outside of the glass. You've seen us do this many, many times, and it's as easy as that. And she is in the box. Nice and simple, no stress, no aggression. What we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this. Now we're going to pop her in her new enclosure. And hopefully she won't run straight up the side. A bit of luck, she'll show us a little bit of herself. Being well. I'm going to try and tease her out nice and gently. You see how she's facing up the side of the box. We don't want her running up the side of the box. We're tilting her at the same time as we're moving her. There you go. Just be careful of them last legs. Oh, she's gone. Would you believe it? Straight into her burrow. Well, that was exciting, wasn't it? Oh dear. Right. Okay. Well, that was a little disappointing, if I'm honest. Oh, she's coming out. Now then. Oh, hang on a minute. We'll end up with a runner. Now, as we can see there, this is a female. Now, I say we've got 5 of these guys, and we've managed to sex 2 of them. We have a female and a male. The other 3 we've not managed to sex just yet, so we're still waiting on molts. So the reason behind doing this rehousing for this particular young lady is because we know it's a female and we want to put her into her permanent enclosure so that she's all ready for breeding. She's not quite old enough just yet. There she goes, she's having a little wander now. Great to see him having a bit of a move around. Look at that. And she's obviously getting a little bit of security from being within there. Now, as we were saying, they do like a relatively good humidity, so we're looking at sort of 70 to 80% humidity will keep these guys really, really well. Food wise, they will take on anything up to about the size of a male dubia roach. But again, if we want to see these spiders, you want to see them at their best, you need to control their food. And by doing this, we can encourage them to come out just that little bit more. And the fact that we're keeping them at a lower temperature than what they would be in the wild, they've not got that massive, massive temperature. You can just see the blue on them legs now. Fantastic, look at that. That is absolutely stunning. Not as strong as the birupes in colour, but nonetheless a very, very pretty spider. Now these are classed, these are an old world spider. They're not classed as a beginner spider, and that is purely because of their speed. They are very, very fast, and they can be, they're a Chilobrachys family, and they can be very, very aggressive. In terms of, well, not say aggressive, defensive. They are more defensive. And if pushed, these guys will bite. So we don't like to mess around with them too much. If you're moving them around, always use a catch cup and things like that, especially when they're getting up to this size, because this is the sort of size where they can cause you some discomfort should you get bitten. Now, there are bite reports on these, and apparently it's very, very painful. We have no wish to find that out in the beastie room, so we follow our nice normal protocols and we keep everything calm and gentle, and you should have no problems. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. We will come back and have a look in a couple of weeks, and we'll see what the webbing's like, and we'll see whether this enclosure has managed to stay this pretty, or whether she's webbed the whole thing over. Time will tell. Right then, until next time, don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you soon, guys.